Why are you looking at me like that?
You just don't like it when other people like chew or swallow. So I just
Okay.
find it crazy that you just did that.
Num-
Hang on, time out. I gotta stand up first. Let's go.
So dramatic. Such a great hat, though.
So good.
I need a hat. I need. We'll have to figure out what it is. I feel like mine needs to be like a compliment. Because I feel like that'd be like extra funny. That like yours is like a roast and then mine's like a compliment to you.
I mean,
What if mine was like a compliment to myself and then yours was like, sorry about my husband? That'd be pretty good.
That'd be good.
All right, we just got back from Miami.
We did.
Allison, how was your trip to Miami?
It was great.
What was your highlight? What was like your favorite part of going to Miami? Let me guess. It was the conference, the React conference. That was your favorite part, right?
Dude.
Which talk was your favorite? Hallie did not go to any of the talks. What was your favorite part?
I enjoyed reading my book by the pool.
Which
and then
never happens. Hallie, like, not that she doesn't know how to read. Let me be very clear.
William.
She teaches kindergarten. She's very good at reading, but she just doesn't like. She doesn't read for like entertainment.
fun.
Entertainment
No,
that
I don't have
much.
time for
Mostly,
that.
I was about to say mostly because you never have time. Whereas I like squeeze time out of every moment to try and read because I'm such a nerd about it. But
yeah, I
Hallie
got
had
to
a great
read
book,
for fun.
and she read the whole book. She finished it before the vacation was even over.
Yeah,
Like
and
read
I got
the whole
to
thing.
just like be alone in a hotel room.
By a
Nobody
pool,
needed me.
or in the room, or back down to the
Like,
pool, whatever
there
schedule
was
you
no
wanted.
schedule. Nobody needed me. I could do what I want. I could just, it was great. That was my favorite part.
Your favorite part was being able to do nothing.
Yeah,
I love that.
like legit nothing. It was wonderful. I took a nap. I know, and I don't nap.
Naps are so great. I did not take any naps because I was very busy with a lot of things, which we will cover. But I will say my favorite part of the whole trip, on Thursday night when we were there, we went to this restaurant called Toro Toro. They had a
The dinner with you and the date was also equally as wonderful as.
Right.
Man.
No, I wasn't even gonna say the date.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right. It
Kind
wasn't
of,
that good,
kind-
anyways.
No, there
The
was
date.
there was an appetizer called, what was it? It was like a
The short rib
arepa.
arepas.
Arepa.
There were more than one.
That was
So
fantastic. So that was good. But no, my favorite part was the restaurant was walkable from the hotel that we were staying at, and we got to walk along like this river that went into downtown Miami, and we walked around like this little curve along the water with all these like giant yachts just driving by. Yeah. Apparently everybody rents or owns a yacht and parties all the time in Miami. Who knew?
We are not partiers, Will King.
No. We had a nice, calm, peaceful walk to the restaurant, ate too much at dinner, and then walked right on back. It was a good time.
Good time.
All right. This is episode 20-something.
Numbers are hard. I know.
The Strong Opinions Weekly Held podcast. Let's do it. All right,
It was a good time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we went to React Miami. In case you didn't realize that,
Will went.
we went to Miami.
I just happened to be there.
Allie joined me, which, let me tell you, life hack, because I am a bit of an introvert, which you wouldn't know sometimes. Like, I feel like I have like a very like outgoing personality, and I don't know when to shut up. And those two things in combination.
Per the book I'm reading about emotional intensity and gifted students, it is a wonderful book. Introverts and extroverts are just defined by like how you renew. Mm-hmm. So you can be a social introvert.
By spending time with Allison.
Well, you are definitely one to retreat, so you are an introvert, but like you do know how to talk to people.
Correct.
And, yeah.
I am a social introvert.
Yeah.
I like to spend time with other people. I like to talk, but I run out of like batteries at some point. And I think I'd feel like weird if I was like, oh, I paid for this, like to go to this conference and I'm here. And then I'm like, oh, I need to go like back to the room and like be away from people. I feel like I'd be like missing out or wasting time or something. But
one could say FOMO.
FOMO. But instead, I got to take care and like see Allie. I brought her a plate of fries at one point. I went and hung out with her by the pool. She was like, I'm trying to read my book. You can go. You can leave.
I'm really fine.
But I just kept coming back anyway. It was super fun. It was like the best thing. Because it was like anytime that I was like, I need to like recharge, I just like got to go spend time with Allie instead of being by myself, which was awesome because there's not a lot of time that me and Allie get by ourselves, if I'm being honest. Like every night, obviously, we put the kids to sleep and we have some time. But like those of you with kids, like by that point in the evening, like you're just barely a human. You're like barely a human anymore. Yeah. So it's just like, all right, let's just like do something together. Some nights there's more energy than others, but like some nights
the air
quotes are because it's like sometimes like all you have the energy for is to like put on like your favorite home renovation show, which is like together, but you're not like like this was great. Like we didn't watch things. We would like get to chat. We get to like talk about things. We have the energy to like think about things we had coming up and talk about that kind of stuff.
It was a good time.
It was a great time. I had a wonderful time. Yeah. And party at Dax's, got to meet a lot of people for the first time that I had been friends with online. So now, Allie, once again, we are widening the pool of real friends.
Yeah, there's only a few who are real now, in my opinion.
Not imaginary.
Just a few. So the people I met in person, they're not imaginary. They're definitely real.
So shout out to the people at React Miami. You are now considered real friends. So thank you for being there. And then let's see what else happened at React Miami. Two more. Okay, we're not gonna go over literally everything because that's boring. But I would say there were two things that happened that were pretty big. One, I made a game for the conference, and that went interestingly.
I just feel like the 4 people that watch this probably already know that Will thought of this a week prior to
1 week, exactly.
And definitely
hustled.
Hustled is the perfect
Wrote
word.
An entire code base for the game so that it functionally
any
worked.
of that means, but
so I'm gonna tell the people so that like the actual
you get there,
logic worked.
Dumpster fire. No, I'm just kidding.
Did all the pixel art?
Which the pixel art? They were rocking some serious dad bods.
That is very true. They were and people caught some of those. So anyway, let's go through it. They did, and the players who joined the game commented on that, which was like hilarious. I had like a single day to do 8 different characters. Anyway, it worked out. It was great.
That's the timeline you were on.
That was the timeline I was on. And so went to the conference, set the little pieces around, got sponsors.
That was
good for you. Which was like over $6,000 worth of prizes, which is fantastic. Which was like, I was just going to like give the winner a free ticket to like React Miami next year. And then I was just like, why not at least like try? Like I can at least always do that. But like, what if I could get more?
The worst people can say is no.
You got it, folks. The worst they could say is no. And they didn't. They said yes. And it was awesome.
You shoot your shot, man.
I did shoot my shot. And I had a really good time. Now, morning of the conference starts. And I don't want people to just be like watching me put these things out. Because I'm like, okay, so part of the game is like, there's only 8 people. There's like over 200 people here at this thing. And only 8 people can play. That's like the whole thing. And so I'm like going down there and I'm trying to like put them in the open.
Did anybody else not think random man hiding 8 small boxes around hotel conference is a little like iffy? Because I'm like, they're gonna call the Miami police because you're dropping off suspicious packages around the hotel.
So every conference there are some people. There are 2 types of people who are not watching a talk. There's 3 types of people that are not watching a talk. 1, there are people running booths. So everyone who is running a booth is like eyeballing me like, why is this? Yeah, this dude's super suspicious. Why is he putting boxes out? 2, it's the people who are like there to meet people and to chat and to network. because one, like they probably are like pretty senior at that point. Like they're not there necessarily to like learn. They're there to like connect with people and blah blah blah. So there's those people are just like out talking instead of in there listening. And then you have it's a developer conference. So then you have some people who just like sit out and code the entire time. They don't talk to people.
That sounds
they just sit out there and like develop. So all of these people are watching me put these little metal boxes with the little cards around.
You have to realize that just sounds suspicious.
So there's two learnings, which is one, not enough people follow me on Twitter. So it took a while for people to like actually look for them, but I thought like I put these little cards on top that was like scan inside, blah blah blah, and so I would watch people.
I think the box said "Open me."
Open me.
That was it. It was just
no. There was a little text below it that said like "Open me." Tap your phone against what's inside to join a game or something like that. It was something along those lines.
It's giving
the
like,
number of people.
Do you want to play a game?
The number of people that I saw like while observing open one of the boxes and just be like, and just close it right back. Like, what is this? Like, what is happening?
That makes me cringe for you.
So that was interesting. But then there were plenty of people who like did follow me. I just wanted more people to like see it. And I talked to like Michelle, who was the person who ran it, but I didn't want to like be like, hey, insert my thing into your programming. Like I didn't want her to like tell the MCs to be like, hey, there's a game going on, go find the ball. Like I didn't want to put that into their programming. This was last minute. They had all these things. So I was like, okay, if people see it on my Twitter, I tagged the conference so they like retweeted it. So anyone who was like on Twitter probably saw it maybe. But like I think a lot of people didn't. So I think like in the future, if I did this again, I would only do it at a conference where I was like the speaker at, so that like
and also give yourself more than a week.
Obviously, yes. I would definitely want to have more time to polish the game a little bit more because there were bugs. So I was one of those guys coding.
Frantic Will comes back to the room and is like, it's not working. There's bugs to figure out.
There was
and
a bug.
I was like, well,
there was a bug. There's a couple the first
Which alley do you want? Do you want supportive alley or I told you so alley?
There were 3 bugs. Only 3 in a whirlwind code adventure to get this ready. Problem number 1, which was not actually a bug. Problem number 1, there is a bug related to this. I put the wrong URL. So like it's an NFC chip with a URL to like claim the character. I put the wrong URL on every single character token thing that I set out. So I had to. So not only am I suspicious setting them all out, but then I had to go back and gather them all up again, change all the URLs, and then put them back out again.
Can you read my hat real quick?
Sorry about my husband. But anyway, this was still going on during like the first talk. So like people didn't even know this happened. So that was like the first bug. The only reason I figured it out was because there was a buddy of mine who was like, please let me into this game. And I was like, okay, 1 of 8, I'll let somebody have like the inside track, what else are friends for? You gotta.
That's cheating.
A little bit.
No.
But he didn't win. So
the game is rigged.
For him. It's not rigged because he lost. He didn't win, so it doesn't matter.
Well, probably didn't win because they were bugs.
But because he was doing it, I like sat there with him while I was like, let me just watch you do this just to make sure everything works. Glad I did. It did not work. So I gathered them all up, fixed that issue.
So what you were saying is you should never live demo things. Maybe you should have just like ran through this.
I should have. I should have ran through this ahead of time. Number 2, I definitely should have ran through this ahead of time. That was definitely a lesson. Number 2, login didn't work. Once you logged in, if you got unlogged in, you couldn't re-log in because it would like cause there's some error.
So for unlogged in, one could say logged out.
Yeah. So if you if you got logged out, then like there was an error trying to log back into your account because I was trying to reinsert the ID instead of like using the existing one. Blah blah blah. Anyway,
this all sounds blah blah blah.
All right, and then the final bug was people couldn't attack each other, which was like a big part of the game. Which was like you attack them once an hour, and when they lose their hearts, then they have to use their points to heal themselves. Otherwise, they can't collect more points. And that's how, like, the game people would, like, change positions, is by, like, attacking the person who's in the lead, making them use their points, and then passing them, blah, blah, blah. So that didn't work at all the first day. So I just, like, pretended like it was on purpose. And I was like, day 2, now you can attack people. That was the plan the whole time. And instead of, like, waiting an hour between time being able to attack each other, I, like, just changed some of the dynamics of the game. Like, they could attack every 15 minutes. The attacks did, like, more damage each time. So, like, I did all these things to kind of, like, make the game more balanced day 2. And overall, it was a success. It did not go the way it did not go the way that I planned it to. I don't think there were as many points. Like, people didn't go out and meet as many people as I thought they would. Like, I thought people would scramble to get more points than they ended up doing. But there were plenty of people, like, they still did plenty. And they had a really fun time doing it. I talked to, like, the 3 people who won. Before they even won on the first day, the guy who ended up winning came up to me and was like, hey, like, did you make this? He was like, I think I recognize you. Were you the one who made this? And I was like, yeah, that was me. Like, sorry.
Suspicious male.
I was like, sorry that there were, like, some bugs. He's like, dude, don't even worry about it. This has been so much fun. Like, he was like, I felt so uncomfortable being here, and this just made it so easy to, like, go up to people and, like, talk to them. And I was like, yes, that was the whole reason that I wanted to do this. So, like, it worked for just one. Like, one of the people thought that it did exactly what I hoped it would do.
Look at you,
and that made me feel good.
And sticking to your why. I'm so proud of you.
Made me feel good. And then he went on to win $5,000 in Cloudflare credit. So, like, hooray for him. And then the second place person had a lot of fun. And then the third place person, who was Vic, who was the guy we talked to at the party with the story.
Yeah. Good dude.
Very specific. It was a very funny story. Vic, who was awesome, ended up getting third, and he was like, hey, even though it was, like, a little glitchy, like, it was a really cool idea and I had a lot of fun doing it. You should definitely do this again. And I was like, Vic, I appreciate that.
He will do it. Maybe.
So, overall a success. And as I say with a lot of things, a lot of ambitious projects, they don't have to fully succeed to be successful. I got what I wanted out of it. It was not as big and grand as I had hoped it would be this first time that I did it.
That little nugget in there that you just...
And I got to be on a live stream about it. A couple of people who I really look up to as designers, they run a podcast called Release Notes, or, like, a live show called Release Notes. And He was like, dude, this is sick. Would you like to come on the live stream for 15 minutes? So, like, I got a little publicity out of it.
You ruined 15 minutes of my day that I was supposed to
have.
I
had to go up to the hotel room, and Allie's like, wait a minute. Are you doing this in
here?
Are you doing this in here? Do I have to be quiet?
You're supposed to be gone.
Do I have to turn the TV off? Like, yes. So that was super fun, and I really appreciate getting brought on the Release Notes podcast. Mm-hmm. Tommy and Hunter. It was awesome. You don't watch this at all, but thank you.
They're not two of them.
So, like, all around, pretty successful. Good time doing the game. Mm-hmm. Second thing, I was on a game show called
Heavens to Betsy.
Terminal Feud, and that was fun. I'm gonna leave it at that. There's videos, there's all this other stuff, but I was on a game show.
And this hasn't left his side.
This was, like, my name badge for, like, the game show, like, that I got to.
However many hours we've been home.
It was great. I
tried to sleep with it.
It was really fun. It was really fun. It was so weird being up there because there were, like, all these people, like, the CEO of Vercel, which is, like, a really big company. So, like, there are, like, CEOs and, like, founder people and, like, really awesome developers who a lot of people know. And then there was little old me. So it was fun. It was a good time. I had a lot of fun. But we can wrap up Miami talk. 10 out of 10 conference. Like, the parties were fun. The people were great. Mm-hmm. Chatting with everybody was awesome.
For sure.
Shout out to Cody and Dylan and all the other fun people that I met. Y'all were awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to all the people. been a minute.
Shout out to all the people that you definitely remember their names.
Totally do. It was lovely to meet all of you.
All right.
All right.
We don't have to make this go on too much longer, but there are a couple of more of our usual topics that I have here that I would like to bring up. We're going to save this one so you have a lot of time to talk about it, because I want to hear more about that. Wrong. People want to hear. You may not know that, but people will appreciate it. It was a really good. It was a very good thing that you started talking about that I want other people to hear about. But there's a few family things. One, I think we should tell people about the nap fairies.
Oh, gracious.
Let me tell you.
Okay. I don't even know where to begin. That's not true. I do.
I do. I know where to begin.
Once
upon a time,
precious mom.
There was a 2-year-old girl who refused to nap. She struggled with napping. She struggled with staying asleep for a long time. She struggled with like going down and actually falling asleep until one day. My
sweet, sweet mom, otherwise known as Gacky,
had a wonderful idea.
And thus,
think Tooth Fairy.
Born was the Reese Fairy.
The Reese Fairy. Palmer's favorite candy. And so
when she
every day, which
at my mom's house.
At her, not at home, but when she was at Gacky's house for Camp Gacky, which is what we call my mother-in-law, her mom, watching our children while we both work.
During the school year, she's called Camp Gacky. So when Palmer was with my mom,
struggling to nap,
when she would fall asleep,
if she had a good nap, that was the rule. If you took a sleeping nap where you fell asleep and you had a good nap and you didn't cry out and you didn't fuss and fight about it,
fell asleep and it was a good nap, the Reese Fairy would come and visit, and so Palmer would wake up and magically,
the Reese Fairy,
hidden somewhere in the room, was a Reese,
like a miniature Reese.
Just one, tiny one. So that started it,
So, needless to say, for 2 years of her life, no longer, because she doesn't go to Gacky's
school.
She doesn't go to Gacky's anymore, but she always got the Reese Fairy, and we talked about that, and she still thinks the Reese Fairy is like some magical person that if you take a good nap when you're little, they bring you candy.
So then
enter Wilson, child number 2 at Camp Gacky's house, who around the same age started having some difficulties.
But see, here's the thing. He didn't. I think my mom just felt like, oh.
He did have some.
Not really.
Not to the extent that Palmer did.
It was just, I think it was born out of, I did this for Palmer. So
I think that is
this is my precious Wilson.
I think that is 98% of it.
I need to do it for him.
And then the first day where he had the slightest little act up at nap time, she was like, oh, he needs the fairy. He doesn't get the Reese Fairy. He got the Musketeer Fairy.
Yep.
Got to change the candy. It's a new game in town.
New kid, new candy.
So now Wilson gets to wake up every nap. If he had a good nap, and guess what's waiting for him hidden somewhere in the room? It's some little miniature Three Musketeer bar. I just thought that was so fun. I was like, I feel like there are so many families who like have some kind of like weird thing like that. That's like one of ours. One of many, which is nap fairies.
And also, the fairy does not come to our house. The fairy is strictly Gacky.
No, it's a Gacky thing.
It's a Gacky thing.
It happens at Gacky's house. At our house, you just do what Mommy and Daddy ask you to do.
Yes.
And it works every time.
It never not works.
Yeah, but no, we don't do that at home. And they generally do. Well, but Wilson always does a good job.
And then there's the third baby, and like, I don't know. I
feel like he's gonna get a full-sized candy bar.
Whoever watches this, if you have kids or if you have multiples, but like, our third kid is just a hoss.
Different,
and he is feral.
He's built different,
and he is just.
He's huge.
He's huge.
A giant. He eats as much as his brother and sister combined.
He's gonna look at this.
And he's mean.
He's not.
He's a sweet little heart, but he's like a sassy little boy. He'll walk into the room and like slap his brother or sister and then just walk out of the room laughing.
And he's gonna look at the little snack size candy and just like,
yeah, like, is this it? How dare you? How dare
this is
you?
an insult.
What kind of fairy is this?
Yeah, like, and then Gacky's gonna start giving him like full-size Snickers bars. Like,
that's true. She does have a soft spot for the baby.
No.
Anyway,
but if you have nap struggles,
another family milestone. While we're talking about family, the other day, I was walking through the hallway and I realized that I hadn't heard from Wilson or Davis in a while, which, as a parent, not hearing from your two youngest, who are also boys, when you have that stomach drop moment of like,
it's been quiet for too long.
Why have I not heard from them in a while? Like, oh, it's been quiet for too long. I was like, oh no, what have they gotten into? And I walk into Wilson's bedroom, and Wilson is building a puzzle on the floor, and Davis is calmly over there doing something else, not bothering Wilson and his puzzle. Which, if any of you have small children, you know that a younger brother, much less like a 1-year-old or before, like before this moment, every single time Davis even just like walked by the room and noticed Wilson puzzling, he would walk in and literally like table flip the dude's puzzle. Like he would walk in and be like, "Ooh, I want this piece."
But Davis wouldn't even do anything. Apart. Wilson would then just like freak out. Don't touch my puzzle.
Well, yeah. Then after enough times of that happening, Davis would just like look at the room when he walked by, and Wilson would like scream from in his room, "Don't touch my puzzle! Go away, Davis!"
And then like mess up his own puzzle because he was freaking out. Like,
so like. We had a milestone. They're both in the same room, and Wilson's puzzling, which he loves. That boy loves a puzzle. He's so good at them. He gets a new puzzle, and he does it like the first time without needing any help. It's just wild. He loves puzzler. He's a big puzzle boy. But the brothers were playing in the same room without bothering each other, and
that was a really stride right now.
That was a really good moment.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of good moments with those two lately, and also a few bad ones. Today, Wilson had a bowl of Bugles that he was eating, which Bugles, hashtag goated snack.
They are.
Bugles are awesome. They're you get to put them on your fingertips. Anyway, great snack.
Yeesh, Will.
Wilson had a bowl of Bugles, and Davis wasn't in there when I made Wilson's bowl.
Well, that's
so I didn't make Davis a bowl.
That's on you, man.
At some point, Davis wanders into the room that Wilson is eating these Bugles.
Yeah.
And, as you know, immediately full body, like, dominates Wilson and, like, moves him out of the way and is starting to eat brothers, like, Bugles because Davis is literally the same size as him, but like way stronger. So he just like shoves Wilson bodily out of the way, and Wilson can't do anything about it.
I guess that was the crying I heard.
While his little brother is eating his Bugles, and Wilson's just over there. No, don't eat my Bugles. No, Davey, go away. So that was fun today. Where
you should have seen that coming.
Anything food involved, Davis is like gonna be a part of it. So y'all, if you're gonna make something for either one of the older kids, if you know Davis is going to be in the vicinity, you should just go ahead and make him one too.
Tell that.
Big yawn.
I'm big time.
Big yawn. All right. I'm going to read this one out loud, and we're going to both think for 2 seconds to see if we can remember what it means. I remember what it means.
Oh, no.
I didn't even have to read it. The card is entitled "She Wrecked the Golden Tub."
Oh, okay.
This will be quick. I'll wrap it up, and I got a rant. I want to go on a rant. Okay. I'm going to rant, and then we'll wrap it up and go to bed. Unless you want to have your rant as well. Would you rather have your rant?
Oh.
I'll hold off on my rant if you want to rant for a minute.
For a very quick
rant next. I'll rant next time. This is a good rant. So we just got back from Miami. Just going to throw that out there if you don't. Part of going to Miami involves flying on planes. And there is one thing, without fail, every single time that we go flying, that Allie cannot stand. Which I agree.
If you are one of these
let me
people,
tell you, Allie,
listen to me loud and clear.
Heated.
Because I'm sorry, if you do this, I've got a bone to pick with you.
Pick it.
When it is time to get off of the plane, do not stand up if it is not your turn to go, stay seated. Let me tell you, they should have these flight attendants sit down and let a teacher deboard a plane, because the me firsters with all of these people, like, I'm going to get my bag and I'm going to get off the plane. I can't handle it. It makes me so mad.
I agree.
We would get off of the plane faster if you just let people go front to back, and none of this, I'm going to climb over you, let me get my bag.
I'm fine if you're going to just stand up really quick, get your bag, and then sit back down out of the way so that when it's time for you to go, you just go. That's totally fine. What is the worst is the people who don't even... The worst is the people who don't even get their bag. They just stand up. They just stand as soon as the flight...
What are you trying to do?
Yeah, like, what are you going to do here? Like, there's an entire plane of people ahead of you. And, like, then they just stand there. And sometimes they, like, scoot forward a little bit, and so they're standing beside you, and you're just like...
You can't move.
What are we doing
And now
here?
you're just encroaching my personal space. Like, what good are you doing standing up 10 minutes probably faster than you needed to? And what are you going to do? Just line jump like 2, maybe 3 people if you're really lucky?
There was a couple people who did that who just, like, they kept... It was the worst. Because they, like, if you're going to stand up and you're going to have the kahunas to do this... where you're just going to be like, well, I'm already up and I only have one bag, so I'm going to just go.
Yeah.
Go for it. You know, like, have all the confidence in the world. No one's going to like you, but at least you're, like, decisive and you went. The worst are the people who, like, are like, well, like, I bet I've got my bags, but I don't want to be rude. But, like, what if I just got in front of this person?
Sit down.
And you can tell these people, they're just like, okay, well, I'm going to go in front of this person. But then they kind of, like, stop after they get in front of, like, one set of people. But then they stop because, okay, well, this person's kind of moving kind of quick. So they kind of stop again. And then they let that person go. And then they, like, move forward. Like, they just, like, stutter step their way out. Slowly getting in front of more and more people and getting in their way of getting their bags while not, like, getting out of the plane.
Yeah. The teacher in me dies a little bit. I'm like,
you need a line leader. You need a caboose.
Just, like, for the love, quit being me firsters, and it's all about me, me, and just wait your turn.
It's actually your
seat's turn. It goes all the way back to when you were 5 years old and in kindergarten. Be patient and wait your turn. We will all get out of here faster if you just take a seat, let the people go from front to back, and we'll get off this plane and go on our merry way.
Amen.
Sorry.
And on that note, you all have a lovely evening. Good night.